Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. More interesting car talk just ahead. Conrad has the In Wheel Time Car Clinic, and we'll have this week's Auto News. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday live broadcast. If you are on a podcast, you are probably hearing this on a Friday. Well, that's when we released it anyway. Is that correct, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. At least I got one thing right today. Well,
you do it better than me.
That's a start.
Yeah, something. So we thought this segment we would go to movie cars. Now,
Oh, you're up.
we were just talking about it during the commercial break there. We met a guy a couple of years ago down at Keels and Wheels, and he was the guy that was responsible for the Ford versus Ferrari cars.
All of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
He built them. He had them built. He had them modified for movie production.
It was a family business.
And not just the fast cars in the movie, all of the background cars at Shelby's facility. He talked about the Ford Falcons he had to buy for the visual of the production of the Ford Falcons in the Ford factory. And he's the president of Hollywood Car Company. And they were hired to do Ford versus Ferrari, but a lot of other stuff as well.
Yeah, and the interesting conversation that we had with him, we found out that the race cars had Chevrolet or General Motors LS engines in them because
durability,
reliability, and that was the biggest thing, was reliability, because obviously the GT and the Ferraris were not really reliable cars. They were race cars, and who knows, if you hit the start switch and it doesn't go, you hold up production.
To use a real one of those and have a problem is you're tearing up $1 million plus car.
Yeah.
You know, even the Ford GTs or the originals are all plus $1 million.
Yeah.
So
at any rate, so movie cars, where are we going to start?
With Mike?
Yeehaw! So I kind of went through and found some real movie cars. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 1976 Ford Grand Torino, commonly called the Striped Tomato. Started out in Starsky and Hutch. That's the ZZ Top.
okay.
Anyway, so this one started out on TV. It was a 76 Grand Torino, and it was so popular because it started on TV with Starsky and Hutch. Ford made 1,300 Starsky and Hutch editions. So there was only two hero cars, the cars that they kept perfect so that they could put them into the movies for the photography and all that stuff. One was a 74 and a 76. They made them look the same. And only one of them's got less than 3,000 miles on it. They pulled it out for the movie to do promo shots, but it was not actually in the movie. The 435 horsepower, 370 cubic inch engine under it, 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, 14.1 seconds in the quarter mile.
That was pretty quick.
It was. It was modified. So the other one is the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, 77 Trans Am. What made this cool was the movie. It was in almost every scene in the movie, but they attribute 30,000 cars the following year after the movie came out to sales because of that movie. And they considered it quicker and better handling than that year of Corvette. And, of course, Burt Reynolds being in it did not hurt at all.
And it had an option code of Y99 for that black and gold special.
Oh, good. Good to know. I didn't see that in the notes. But so next up was the 69 Dodge Charger, the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard, which everybody's talked about, and everybody kind of knows anything about it. That there was over 24 1968 to 70 model Chargers used to make the film after the show. And
they trashed a lot of cars.
They did. They trashed a lot of them. They had one TV car that was left over from the TV series that was still intact, and they used it for the close-up car in the movie. That's the only thing it did was the close-ups. The rest of it was just cars that they pieced together to try and make them work. The 1967 Shelby GT500 Eleanor. It was famous for Gone in 60 Seconds. I got a lot of attention out of people. There were 11 of those cars were created for the movie. 3 of them were working cars. 2 were ultimately destroyed during the filming of that movie.
Oh.
351 Ford Crate V8 engine rated at 400 horsepower, 4 speeds, suspension mods. A primary beauty car for the film was sold through Mecum in 2013 for $1 million.
And do you know it was his birthday this week?
Mecum's?
That actor right there.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and he was born in Beirut.
Cool. If you're interested in
That's
buying
not
one of
cool.
these, go to the Fusion Motor Company and they'll build you one.
And it's become quite a popular clone or tribute car for Mustang guys to build.
Yes. It's a good-looking car. The next one that I kind of liked was the Ectomobile, the 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor. There was actually 2 of these cars built.
The Miller Meteor.
Yep. Had a 6.3-liter V8.
Conversion company.
And it had 320 horsepower in it with all the other stuff. The original car was painted black and purple, make it very sinister because of the Ghostbusters thing. Well, they started filming, and they realized how much filming they were doing at night, and you couldn't see it. So they changed it to a white vehicle. One of the cars was gone. Another one was brought out of the studio back lot and restored.
It was originally a hearse.
Was it?
Cadillac Miller Meteor.
Miller Meteor did the
Hearse
conversion into a hearse.
Okay.
Because I don't think Chevrolet or Cadillac built a hearse. I mean,
No, Cadillac did. They all went out to.
Well, it could be. I never heard of one.
They did
I just
ambulances.
assumed it was some sort of
but
model.
it's all an
And
outside
didn't
conversion
we have
company.
a guest on the show that the lady owned an ambulance? That was it.
A version of-
Tailpipes and Tacos?
Yep.
Yep.
She owned one of these.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the next one is the 1981 DeLorean DMC-12 from Back to the Future. Now, everybody knows it's got a lot of modifications for the movie and everything, but it came from the factory with a pokey 132 horsepower, 2.9 liter V8. But if you watch the
V6.
movie, it did a lot of extra stuff that 30 horsepower is not going to make it do. That's because they replaced the V6 with a V8 from a Porsche 928 for the movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
And Stan's son owns one.
Yes, it does. I don't know if it has a Porsche motor in it or
that.
not.
No, it's got the.
The other cool car,
Little
Mustangs are
Peugeot
really
V6.
popular, is the 1969 Mustang that John Wick drove. My mother has watched repeatedly all 3 of the John Wick movies. The thing about this was everybody thinks it's a Boss 429, but it's not because a real Boss is over $500,000. So they used the 69 Mach 1. They put 390 in it and a 428 in another one. And Reeves actually went to a driving school to learn how to do it and did 95% of the stunt driving in the movie by himself.
Very cool.
This one I really like. The 58 Plymouth Fury from Christine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The self-healing car.
23 to 28 cars were used in this film, depending on who you talk to. But you know how they did that? They used some Belvederes and Savoys because there were so many of them. They couldn't get all of the Furies. But they put hydraulic jacks on the inside of the car with plastic panels and plastic panels
To
for the
heal
fenders
itself.
up, and it sucked it in. And then they played the film backwards so it looked like it was coming out and healing itself.
Yep.
That's okay.
The other cool thing about this was, the engine sounds, very unique, very classy sounding. That was the 1970 Mustang 428 Super Cobra Jet engine making that sound.
I knew that.
Oh, here's
It
my
was
favorite.
Bullet, there's not much you can say about the Mustang GT 390 from Bullet. It just was a cool car. Everybody likes that
A little
one 'cause
bit
they
of
like the
wheel hop
thing.
in reverse.
Yep.
That wasn't planned in the movie, but they left it in.
Put that
That's
son of a
right,
Mustang.
but it worked. 1970 Charger from Fast and Furious. I was really disappointed. I mean, this is the same thing that was in the Dukes of Hazzards, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. And but they put this motor from, it was a 426 board and stroke to a 572 from Chuck Taylor's racing engines. That's what, in the garage where you see the car with the big engine and the blower at the beginning of the movie, they put that engine in there, took the shots, then they took the engine out and sent it back to Chuck.
Nice. Chuck needed it
And
back.
then
He didn't want to
the rest of the
donate it.
time it was a 440.
He needed it
What
back.
about your daughter?
Come for your daughter, Chuck.
Coming for your blower, Chuck. So, another one that's pretty popular with older guys, 1970 Dodge Challenger RT from Vanishing Point.
Oh.
Basically, all the RTs were in the film were 440 engines. And it was basically a movie about driving from Denver to San Francisco in less than 15 hours and some Jaguars involved and all that stuff. But Kowalski gets to towards the end of the movie, you know, and he
Don't spoil
drives
it.
it off a cliff.
Oh, you ruined the movie.
So, but the problem is, they didn't use a Challenger to drive off the cliff. They used a '67 Camaro.
Oh, man.
Painted the same color.
Yeah.
Yep.
It ruined it.
And then you get to the '32 Ford Coupe, American Graffiti.
Could you tell that they changed the car from?
Now, the next time you watch
gonna
it,
have to
you'll,
watch
you'll
and
see,
see.
you'll see it.
But it's the very end.
So the American Graffiti Ford Coupe 327 V8 engine, same group that built the California Kid car is the one that built this car. And at the end of the movie, of course, it runs up against the 55 Chevy. The Chevy goes off the road. Interesting about that same 55 Chevy that goes off the road, that's the 55 Chevy that was in two-lane blacktop.
Yep.
And it was the 55 Chevy Billy Stabile drove in high school. I
That's
remember
right.
he
That's
told
right.
us
He
that
said that.
story that he had that car in high school. And then he had Olive Oil riding with him in this what was her name? The actress.
I know you're talking
played
about.
Olive Oil, yeah.
Oh,
Skinny.
Shelley Duvall?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the passenger for him in this.
Cool. 1976 Lotus Esprit Cities. This was in the James
Say that-
Bond
wait a
movie.
minute, wait.
Esprit.
Esprit.
What did you call it?
It's Brits.
Yeah, Esprit Cities.
That's his English.
One.
accent.
Well, theoretically, it is.
Yeah.
That's
So
theoretically.
Theoretically.
by the 70s, the cars were changing shape. So in the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, there was a white Series 1 Lotus that he drove off into the water and it became a submarine. You know, it covered up the wheels and all that stuff, drove back out onto the beach. And what was really cool, a couple found that car and verified it. They bought an unclaimed storage unit for $1, and that car was in it. They sold that car to Elon Musk for $1 million.
And it's on the top of a rocket as we speak, somewhere.
And it
Somewhere.
leaks.
Wonder if it
or the
was
hood.
on the TV show Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
By
sun.
the way, Artemis was scrubbed this morning. I just found out.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last one here is the 1964 Aston Martin DB5. I got
Oh,
this for
yeah.
Conrad. It was in Goldfinger.
Hubba, hubba.
Had all kinds of things they tricked up for it. But one of the few Astons used in this movie sold for $4.6 million.
Wow.
And just recently, Sean Connery's personal DB5 that he was given at the conclusion of the movie, though it wasn't one of the movie cars, also just sold at, I think it was Barrett Jackson.
Cool.
For $1 bazillion.
But those are some cool movie cars. There's some more out there that I got to a list of 50, and I had to start cutting them down. But there's just a ton of them out there.
Well, we kind of did a little
Yeah.
false preview earlier, but
Yeah, that was my fault.
Since we're into this, why don't we do the ZZ Top cars? I only know of one.
Well,
Actually, two. Cadzilla and the other one that was in Eliminator.
Eliminator.
Was in
the
the
32
in the
Ford.
video.
33 Ford. Okay, so the Cadzilla is the one that's coming up here. 48 Caddy, Series 6-2. It's called a sedan net. I never did really hear about that, know what it is. 500 cubic inch V8. It's got custom fuel injection system on it. Reportedly, he spent over $500,000 building this car, having it built the way it's
Who
built.
built it for him?
I didn't write it down.
Didn't what's his name that we had from California?
Boyd Coddington built
No,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Thinking
right there.
somebody
That's what
else.
it says.
That's
Boyd Coddington, the biggest jerk on the face of this earth, who's not with us anymore.
Correct.
So the next car is the 1933 Ford Eliminator Coupe. Going to remember that from the Eliminator album.
Legs.
It's used in several videos. It just used wonderfully with the girls getting out of the cars. Had a 5.7 liter V8 engine
Becky.
with a Z28
I've
cam.
never seen it.
What?
No, I'm kidding. See if you pay attention.
Turbo 350. Billy Gibbons actually drove this car from L.A. to New York one time with passenger in it, and takes it out on. He was taking it out on tours. It's now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on display.
In Cleveland?
Yes.
That's where it's at.
Next
Cleveland
up
steamer.
is
it's
a
missing its wheels and tires.
yeah, 1932 Highboy Ford. Now this has got a 221 cubic inch supercharged flathead V8.
I like that.
Top loader tranny. It's kind of a throwback type vehicle. And also,
I've never seen that car before.
no, I haven't seen that one. There's another one.
Yeah, I've seen it because they did a story on ZZ Top and how they got started, and that car, they were all in that car driving to the location to do the
gigs.
Yeah,
Cool. He also has a 1962 Chevrolet Impala.
A Slam Pala.
Slam Pala. Got Firestone airbag system that raises it up and down. It's pretty much stock, and except he's added power brakes to it, a CD system, 6.7 liter V8 with a 3-speed automatic.
That sounds very stock.
Well, the body lines and all that stuff. The exterior of it's pretty much stock.
my body lines are
Don't weasel your way out of that. There's no way.
my body lines are stock too.
He also has a 1958 Ford Thunderbird that he calls a Mexican Blackbird. And it's a 1958. It's considered a mild custom because of the changes that have been made to it. And they actually had a song on the 75 album Fandango called Black Thunderbird, Mexican Blackbird. Southern Cal Speed Shop built this. Got 352 cubic inch with lowered suspension and a Ford-O-Matic transmission.
Cool looking car.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it is.
I like the lights on the
Yes.
side.
And then the next one is I've never seen this, never even heard of it, a 1933 Ford Whiskey Runner. It's a coupe. Got a 331 cubic inch caddy. It's one of 3 engines. This was a prototype engine that a guy had in his shop that he inherited from his father. From 20 years ago, they built 3 motors as a prototype for Cadillac. Cadillac wasn't interested in it, so they put them in the shop. So they put one of them into this car.
Oh, wow.
Got a quick change rear end on it. And it's been through several different changes, and mainly with the paint and stuff, because he never could really decide how he wanted it painted. He didn't want it to look exactly like the other one, but he wanted it to be related.
Doesn't look far from it, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. This other one is a rat rod that I've seen up in Austin before. It's powered by a 1953 Ford Flathead, an SBA Flathead, whatever that is. But it's got a S10 transmission, and it runs straight pipes on it, so it gets loud, and I've seen this at a run in Austin. The last one I wanted to talk about was the 1950 Ford Copperhead Business Coupe. Now, this has got a 3-inch chop on it. The doors have actually been 10 inches longer. Of course, the vehicle's all shaved. It's got a 312 cubic engine in it and a Ford
Ugly
overdrive
front
transmission. It's really, yes.
It's very typical of that late 40, early 50 front end.
My aunt had a car like that.
I think all of the custom work is done in the greenhouse and the rear quarter.
Yes. And that last one there is a 1936 Ford Mambo Coupe. It's a resto mod vehicle that he's got. Mambo.
How about Mambo?
Mambo.
Italiano. Okay, let's move on now and do Conrad's Car Clinic.
All right.
How often to change your transmission fluid? Automatic transmission is one of your car's most expensive and hardest working systems. As the transmission fluid ages, it stops doing the 3 things it's designed to do: clean, cool, and lubricate. That's what all oils are designed to do. So as it stops cleaning, cooling, and lubricating, it's time to change it. Don't wait until it's failed all of those attributes. Change it before it fails. Your customers will notice, people will notice a hard shifting or a chattering when it shifts gears, when the fluid starts to get dark and oxidized. Transmission service should be performed. You want to flush out all the old fluid, fill it with fresh new fortified fluid. You also want to make sure when you do a flush, which means you actually change the fluid while the engine's running, that's what cleans out the torque converter. Probably half the fluid in an automatic transmission resides in the torque converter. If all you do is a pan drop, you'll get 3 or 4 quarts out of a transmission that has 12 quarts in it. If you do a full flush where you hook into the cooler line, you'll change all of the fluid out of it.
Including that in the torque converter.
Including that. And you get
How
a
does
chance
the
to
fluid
clean
get in the torque converter?
through the cooler line. Well, the cooler lines, and there's a separate circuit.
But this thing is
inside.
spinning around in there.
Yeah, well, it spins around. There's a front pump, and the front pump pushes the fluid into the converter, and the converter allows you to find neutral even though you're in gear. So the engine spins, but the torque converter is that place where you can find neutral when you step on the brake.
Okay.
Just like engine oil, customers should get their transmission fluid changed on a regular interval. When the fluid breaks down and deposits build up, that's when things start to go wrong. You can see the results of the accumulation of deposits as the fluid gets darker over age. Most transmission fluids are going to be a kind of a clear, translucent pink, and they get darker over age. Fluid should be changed every 30 to 50,000 miles, depending on your driving habits. If you're doing a lot of towing, change it definitely at the 30,000 mile interval. If not, you can go 45, 50,000 miles between changes. But change your automatic transmission fluid on a regular basis. Don't leave that old funky fluid in there. It will cause you money in the long run.
Cool.
That it?
That's it.
Wow. Thought it would be longer than that, but it's all right. I thought this was an interesting story. Car sales are just all over the place. Some manufacturers can't get parts, and they're hurting, and others have got the parts, and they're doing really well. They're making a comeback, blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk says he wants to get Tesla's self-driving tech in wide release by year end. Good luck.
That's the autonomous driving.
Yeah. Many auto brake systems are unreliable at night, according to an IIHS study. So if you're going to depend on your car to brake for you, don't do it at night, because apparently you can't see all that well. J.D. Power's recently released 2022 U.S. dealer financing satisfaction study. He comes up with these names.
Financing satisfaction.
Which polled 3,500 auto dealership financial workers in April and May, found only 44% of lender sales reps exceeded expectations. But the lender reps who reached the higher bar produced dealership satisfaction scores as much as 190 points higher than competitors. So if you go to find a car, you buy it, and you get sent over to the...
Not mine.
What are you doing over there, Mars? I can hear what you're doing.
You can hear me creaking?
No, I hear
talking in the background.
Playback.
So you heard the 2023 Ram 1500 is going to come with a bunch of new technology in it. One of those technologies is a glove box with a UV light inside of it that you could put your stuff, like a phone or
hairbrush,
germs off it, that's going to disinfect it from viruses and bacteria.
Oh.
Okay.
What a waste of money.
I don't want to squeeze this story in there. Average price of a used car at purchase is $6.47 with wide variation among states and metros. This was mainly around some of the states that nobody ever visits, but whatever. I think it's a pretty good idea of what goes on across the United States. 10 states where people look to buy the oldest used cars are evenly split among the Midwest and West states. Northeast states make up half of the 10 states where people seek the youngest used vehicles.
Because you can hear a car rust up there.
The metro where residents look to buy the oldest used cars, Spokane, Washington.
Wow.
Isn't in a top 10 state. The only metro where people seek
Antifa's going to burn it.
The only metro where people seek cars less than 5 years old on average is in
LA.
Florida.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Because they've got the money.
Oh, true.
And nearly 1 in 5 nearly 1 in 5 inquiries for used vehicles are for those with a 2020 model year designation. I thought that those were interesting facts.
What's the average age of a car in Cuba?
100.
70 years.
Full rankings. Average vehicle age, the oldest. Idaho is number 1. Let's see. Kansas is ranked at number 6. None of these are around here. It's
I'd have thought Texas
odd.
would have been older because of the population of old trucks that are in the market.
2020 2-year-old cars, 2 to 3-year-old cars, are the most popular to buy on the used car. That doesn't surprise me, really.
Well, you got to think some of that's coming off of a 2 or 3 year lease as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they come off lease, they really overpopulate the used car market.
35,000 miles usually is, I guess, the average.
Typical.
Yeah, typical. And I might be
maintained.
Yeah, I would probably, if I were in the market, I would buy.
Well, Rochelle's Audi Q5 was off lease. It was off a 24-month lease.
What are you getting her for her birthday?
It's Angela's birthday. She has a Mercedes. She's happy.
Which in turn makes
Yeah, he said that very definitively.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, almost as if Don't ask me.
Especially on the air.
I've got it
We're going to be
covered.
held responsible for it.
I've got this covered. Shut up. I think.
Okay, I hope so. If
Yeah.
he's not here next week, we know why.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry that we called you out on the air.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Not at all.
No, you're not.
We're not, because that's what we do here. You know.
He's collecting mother-in-laws.
I know.
You like that, don't you?
I thought it was really good.
I didn't find it funny at all.
Leslie liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't find it funny at all.
She's still laughing.
Do you
about
find it funny?
No.
It's because he's within arm reach.
What a butt kisser.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, quick breakdown. We're going to wrap things up right after this. Stay with us on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, and get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com.
Well, there's nothing like being on top of it. It's Don Armstrong. Well, that's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. When you're on Facebook, check out our page. Give us a like. Tell your friends about us. And share our junk, if you would, please. You'll get Conrad's Unicorn Hunting features, along with all things automotive, all week long for free.
Jeff's
Including-
Jello shots.
including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other goodies. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeart Radio app. In Wheel Time can be heard and seen live on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central Time. 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider 7 days a week. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Manager and Video Technical Director is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For Booking Agent and Podcast Editor Mike Mars and his royalty King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show was distorted by Mike Mars. Be sure to join us again for our next live 3-hour In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, September 10th, starting at 8 a.m. Central on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Stay cool and keep afloat.
Did we do okay, Dad?
So long for now.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.